So after understanding the concept of rounding off in the previous video, that how we use rounding off in our day-to-day life, now let's talk this particular term in terms of mathematics. The first one is you'd be asked to round off any number to the nearest 10. Now what does that mean, that round off the number to the nearest 10? Nearest 10 means the number that is multiple of 10, that is multiple of 10, multiple of 10. 0 is a multiple of 10, 10 is a multiple of 10, 20 is a multiple of 10, 30 is a multiple of 10, 40 is a multiple of 10, and 50 is a multiple of 10, and so on. Of course, 3 is not the multiple of 10, 5 is not the multiple of 10. So multiple of 10 will have 0 at the units place, like here 0, 0, 0, and so on. So first example is, suppose you're given a number, first example is you're given a number 3, and now you are asked to round it off to the nearest 10. You're asked to round it off to the nearest 10. You draw a, let me explain you like this, that we take, suppose you draw your scale. Your scale is something like this, okay, and 0 comes somewhere here. Zero comes here, and 5 comes here, and 10 comes here. This is your scale. Now in between 0 and 5 will come 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. In between 5 and 10 would come 6, 7, 8, and 9. You have 3. It means it's being asked about this one, right? 3. Okay. Now tell me 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 are the multiples of 10. And you have to round this particular number to the nearest 10 number. The closest two tens, the multiples of 10s are of course 0 and 10. 5 is not the multiple of 10. So we always look for the two closest multiples of 10 to the given number. So 3 lies somewhere between 0 and 10, and 0 and 10 are the two closest multiples of 10 for the number 3. Now tell me, is 0 more closer to 3 or 10 is more closer to 3? Which is more closer to 3? Of course 0 is more closer to 3. Therefore if you will round off 3 to the nearest 10, the answer would be 0. The answer would be 0. Okay, let me take one more example. Suppose you are asked for the number 7. You're asked for the number 7 and you're asked to round off to the nearest 10. Now 7 comes here. Now tell me, which is the most closest multiple of 10 out of 0 and 10? Of course 7 is more closer to 10. Therefore in this case answer would be 10. Okay, suppose you were asked for, this is example 3, is you were asked for 5. You were asked for 5. What would be the answer in this case? If you will round off this to the nearest 10, what would be the answer? Now you will say that, boss, 5 is as equal to 0, it is as it is it is equal to 10. Then keep in mind, when you're asked for 5, okay, when the value comes in between, exactly in between, then always go for the next closest multiple of 10. Like in this case, you will ask for 5, so you will not go for 0, you will go for 10. You will go for 10. So in this case, the answer would be 10. Let me take some more examples so that the concept is clear to you. See here, you are asked for the number 255. 255. Okay. So, and you have to round off in the to the nearest 10 number. Now, draw your scale. Draw your scale. Suppose this is your scale. Okay. Now, which are the two closest multiples of 10 for 255? Of course, the two closest are 250 and then 260. Is there any confusion? Of course, no. 250 and 260 are the two closest multiples of 10 for the number 255, and therefore 255 would come somewhere here. 255 would come somewhere here, and in between would come 251, 252, 253, 254, and here we will have 256, 257, 258, and 259. Now you're asked for this number 255, and as I told you just in the previous example, that if the number comes exactly in between the two closest multiples of 10, then always go for the next one. So in this case, you will not go for 250, because for 255 this is also as nearer as this 260 is. 250 is as nearer to 255 as it is to 260. So always go for the next one and take this one. So the answer would be 260. If you would ask for 253, then it means that you are being asked for this. Now, which is much closer, 250 or 260? Of course, 250 is much closer. So you will go for this. This would be the answer, and not this one. This, because it's 2 form. So nearest one is 250. So the answer is 250. Let me take one more example. Last example. The number is 4572. Now you have to round off to the nearest 10. Same thing, you draw your scale, and what are the two closest multiples of 10 for 405 and 4572? Of course, the first one is 4570, and the next one is 4580, right? Because this 72 will come between 70 and this 80, and in between would come 4575. Now your number is 4572, so next number is 4571, and this will come 4572 would come here, somewhere here. Now tell me, this 4572, which is much more closer, this one or this one? Of course, this one. So in this case, the answer would be 4570. So this was all about rounding off your numbers to the nearest 10.